Brian, hey, I just saw a video on house rules and I thought I would do a response to it. And yeah, I have house rules. I think my thoughts on house ruling may be slightly different. Got some hair sticking up. In that this video goes on into customization, that's more of what I think of. And most of it actually all boils down to tactics. I'm a tactical kind of guy. And a lot of combat systems, even the more tactical ones like Runequest, um, I have borrowed rules from Fantasy Trip, which is my first tactical role playing game, and simply apply them. And generally, there's a fairly balanced rollover, so didn't need to worry too much about that. But that's my customization, making things that make sense to me that can adjust in the system because the system doesn't bring those out. House ruling settings. I haven't really had to do much of that, although I do have one for the Fantasy Trip. Fantasy Trip has a skill called Priest, and there's you're able to act as a priest, right? You've got that training, that support relationship, whatever. But that's it. I played in World with some guys where they said, okay, if you're a priest and you have access to these sorts of spells because you're paralleling up with D&D and you got cleric spells and magic user spells, right? So we pulled some of the spells over. These are cleric ones as well. But what I really liked is I pulled a miracles mechanic from the game. It's not on my bookshelf anymore, but it was an old game. I've only seen it like once, but it had in it a miracles kind of thing where you pray, some kind of piety points or something that was involved, and there's a chance of your deity doing something basic like there's an oasis over there, so now you're not going to die in the desert. You can get some water, to other more extravagant sorts of things. So I just took that mechanic and plugged it in to the priest's skill. Haven't had actually a chance to play that piece out because I haven't had any players in my Fantasy Trip doing priest, but see that be. Game design KSAs, now skills and abilities. That's one of the house ruling things I've never done with any version of Dungeons and Dragons, specifically tied to spells and spell casting. Well, we did mess with some spell casting stuff early on. We changed them to spell points and all that kind of stuff. But there should be some underlying logic within the spell casting that, as I'm reading through D&D spells, I could never understand. I don't see a balance here. I mean, why does Melf's acid arrow do that much damage at that level? Where's the underlying logic for that? Could never find it. Wasn't really that interested in it. Didn't spend too much time. There's just a couple thoughts on house ruling. Do you have house ruling concepts, ideas, abilities? Happy gaming.